Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Miami Dolphins fans, fins up. Welcome to the Thursday morning edition. And on Thursdays, it's always the throwback logo, the best logo, or one of the best. My second favorite logo of all the Dolphin logos. You guys rocked for finding us this early morning on the Thursday. Fins up to all of you. So, the Ndamukong Suh paid a visit to the Miami Dolphins yesterday. As all you longtime Dolphin fans know, he had a previous stint with the Miami Dolphins under the current ownership that paid him the big bucks back in the day. This would not be that kind of salary, of course, but just more of kicking the tires. That's what I really feel they're doing in case something happens. Kick the tires, know what kind of football shape he's in case they need a replacement along the defensive line. It would be interesting to see how they roll. Timothy Washington, big fins up to you, and Outback Orchard, very big good morning to you as well. So, the Dolphins, this is the new NFL week. The NFL week starts tonight. So, only focus on the Dallas Cowboys. No looking ahead to the Ravens for our team. One game at a time. Let's get that win against a team with a winning record in that narrative. Then we're going to knock off the Ravens on the road. We as fans can look at that. But for our Miami Dolphins, take care of business this week. It's all you can do. And I think they have a good chance to do it. I know Dallas is coming off a big loss, so they're going to come in extra motivated. I realize that it's going to be a tough game, but how these teams match up, I think the Dolphins do okay on that front. I know Dallas is basically, hey, back it up, Ben's podcast with that new logo throwing me off there for a minute, but I did see it over on Twitter. So thank you there. Back it up, Ben's podcast. Big fins up to you on this throwback Thursday morning in Miami Dolphin land. So it's only fitting that Ndamukong Suh showed up a day before, going back to some players that have been here before. I think we have mismatch across the field that we should take advantages of. I agree. I agree on that front. It should be good. Yes, I expect a battle too, Scotty. I expect a battle because the Cowboys team that showed up in Buffalo, I don't think that team is going to be what they're going to come back strong. We have to come out strong. It's going to be the battle of the wheels, battle of erase the narratives because Dallas basically's narrative is that you can't win on the road. Our narrative is we just can't beat a winning team. So someone's going to erase a narrative this week, and I hope it's our Miami Dolphins erasing that narrative. And I think they have a really good chance to do it. Do the injuries concern me? Of course, the injuries concern me. But at this time of year, there's a lot of teams banged up across the whole entire NFL landscape. Just losing Connor Williams to me was the biggest blow, especially this week going up against Dallas. It would have been nice to have him there, try to do what Buffalo did against Dallas, really establish that running game. That would have been nice, but got to find ways, move the ball, stop them. Simple as that. We need to win out, in my view. I really want to win out, or definitely win the next two, because you don't want that final week of the season coming down for the division title, because I don't see Buffalo probably losing. Maybe if Herbert was playing, who knows? I know Timothy will say that they have a decent backup and all that over there in Chargers land, but still, I just don't see Buffalo faltering. So hopefully Yes, that was great. He was in there with Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel was almost it was funny. He was having him in a hard time spitting out what he wanted to. I mean, at that time of morning, but he was already looking at film, and it was good to see him roll in that early. So these guys, they got that one goal, man. That's a coach's life. You always hear about it. They're basically their wives and family don't see them during the football season because they stay there from that time of morning and they go till late in the night. So it's it is what it is, man. So that they're putting in the work. We're definitely if we lose, it's not because they're not putting in the work. It's just because the other team outplayed us. Another thing I liked about the McDaniel, he took his own heat. Said, "Why am I throwing a fade pattern?" That's what we were all saying. Why is he throwing a fade pattern against the cover zero? He did. He owned up to it. And you know what? But he also pointed out that Tua missed a good throw, an easy throw during that game that probably would have led to a big play. And that's very un-Tua like. So sometimes things are going to happen. Accountability is important. Take it in stride, move forward. And that's what our Dolphins seem to be doing this year. So I do like that. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are trusting in Bush this year, Timothy Watson, which is a big, 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 big improvement from years past when our offensive line coaches get the brunt of our criticism, and that's why they move almost every single year. We've had a new coach every year for the past 10 years along the offensive line, and actually it's had 11 in 10 years because one did them in through training camp. So hopefully Butch Berry's our long-term offensive line coach, and that builds cohesiveness, and that's the main thing on an offensive line. You have to have a cohesive unit that knows what each others are doing, what they're thinking, what they're going to do on each and every play. That helps build that chemistry that you need on in the trenches along the offensive line. It's like the same with the defensive line. Wilkins and Zealer, they each know what each other are going to do. They know what their responsibilities are. And that's makes for a better team when you get that cohesiveness down in the trenches. This an extension of each other, knowing what their teammates going to do each and every play helps build that chemistry that you need to win football games in the trenches on both sides of the football. Hey, good morning, Flavor J. Big fins up to you on this Throwback Thursday. Thank you for coming in as always. The only time our O line plays terrible is injuries during the game, but for the most part, Butch have his guys coached up. Yes, and yes, you are right. That is true. When our line struggle is just because the guys that get hurt are replaced by guys that didn't have many reps during the practice week. So that is a true statement. Like the biggest one is the Connor Realms. That is going to be to me the toughest one to overcome. We've done okay at the tackles positions we place in this year, knock on wood. And so but the center to me that's the toughest one. That was the blow to the chin, so to speak. But hey, they got a W under their belt since then. They can go out there. Eichenberg, he's taken a lot of criticism in his tenure with the Miami Dolphins, but the man's gone out there. He's played for us. He's done better than expected. Is he a long-term fixer that you want there forever? Maybe not. Is he a valuable piece of this 2023 Miami Dolphins? Most certainly he is. He's played at every position along the offensive line in his tenure here with the Miami Dolphins. What more can you say? You want versatile guys? You can't get much more versatile than that he's played every single offensive line position for our Dolphins during his time here. So that's an amazing feat, and he's a valuable part of the team. So he deserves some kudos because he's probably been one of the most criticized Dolphins player over the past couple of years. Him and Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson has stepped up this year and played well. Hopefully his injury does not keep him sidelined that he sustained against the Jets in the second half. They're saying his injury is not as bad as what Jalen Phillips was that kept him out a little bit of the time. So hopefully he's back sooner than later. That's a needed. Hey, New Finland in the house. Good to see you back in here, New Finland. Reading McDaniel pressure, which I've been able to every week. Hunt will not play. Yeah, I know. That's the bad. That's it's hopefully he comes back sooner because they keep on saying he's going to be back. And it's a week to week situation. But yes, once again, he didn't seem too confident about getting him out there. That's basically got that conclusion too, Scotty. I same as you. So we're gonna go with that line once again. Hopefully, Armstead stays upright. Then we see on Jackson, but got Cotton, Jones, Eichenberg, however you want to plug them in those holes. They just have to step up and do their job. They're NFL players. They get paid to step up when they're needed, and now they're going to be paid to step up. Now they have to go earn their paycheck, play well against a 10-4 Dallas Cowboys team. Both the Dolphins and Dallas Cowboys come in with 10-4 records. Both of those narratives I mentioned earlier that they have to erase. So there's a lot at stake in this game for both franchises. It's a must-win game. They're coming in. The Cowboys are coming in saying we have to win. Dolphins are coming in saying we have to win. So it's going to be a battle out there. And hopefully our aqua and orange. We're in this logo this week. They're wearing the throwbacks, the old throwbacks in the aqua jerseys. And go out there, punch the Cowboys in the mouth, have them ride off into the sunset as losers to our Miami Dolphins. That's what we need this week. Hey, shake money in the house. Big fins up to you. It's another beautiful day in the Zamuda, according to Shake Money. Check him out, guys, on the Fins tailgate. Always bringing his A game, I must say. I could go for a steak. Let's see. I don't think Holland plays on defense either. Elliott is still in, so I have him. I know they're saying that he's getting closer to the clearing the concussion, but yes, he is in there. But McDaniel did touch on Deshaun Elliott, saying he's progressing nicely through the stages of the concussion protocol. But yes, as his last press conference, he is still in it. So we will see on that. I really wish he would be able to get out of it. I would hope that Javon Holland, but yes, I'm kind of with you on both of those players, Scotty. But they have to go out there no matter what, get that W, even with all these missing players. It's brutal to go through the Dolphins injured list. It's not very pretty and very concerning, actually. But to me, I said this is a season of no excuses, so there's no excuse. You still got to go out there and win a football game because no one's going to feel sorry for you because your team is injured. Cowboys aren't going to feel sorry for us saying, well, they're injured. Let's hold some of our guys back. No, they're going to go all out to destroy us, just like we're going to go all out to destroy them. So it just stinks, though. I think we use the same plan we used against the Jets. Quick passes and run. Yes, this is probably a good recipe, I would say, moving forward, actually, in the games up ahead against the defenses that we're going to be going against. So that's why we kind of got a preview against the Jets of what we're going to probably see coming down the pike. It'd be nice if we get Hunt back over the next couple weeks. That'd be really precious. It'd be like gold getting him back healthy in there, keeping Armstead healthy, which has always been not such an easy thing since he's been with us. So you are right, though, Scotty. I think that's kind of what you're going to see moving forward from the Dolphins. No, and occasionally taking that quick down the field deep pass when things open up, like he knew it was going to be a one-play drive to Waddle. You build for that momentum. You set that up by running and short passes and quick passes. Then all of a sudden, boom, you go over the top and you get Waddle in a good matchup. And hopefully Tyreek Hill is back out there running around for us this week as well. Time to suck it up, everyone on deck. If Holland, Hunt, etc. can go, they have to go. No, I agree on that too, Finland. Some of these guys may play, but if it's just a little dinged up. But if anything, the Miami Dolphins, ever since last year's injury fiasco with Tua and stuff, the Dolphins are probably the most conservative team as far as playing injured players. They tend not to do it, and that's just par for the course for the Miami Dolphins. We will see. Van Ginkel did go out and play with a broken nose, so you do get some players that are just going to go out there no matter what. And some of them didn't even know Van Ginkel had a broken nose till after. So it's crazy on that take, but that is correct. Some of these guys that are a little dinged up are probably going to get out there, but the Dolphins are very conservative on that front. Oh, we got Kevin again. Kevin McDaniel coming in from the Facebook side with the thumbs up and comment. Thank you. Fangio has these guys dialed in, and I almost feel sorry for the Cowboys. Almost. Well, I like your confidence, Kev. That is awesome. I hope we really just pound them like that, and that we almost feel bad for them. But I just have a feeling this game is going to be down to the wire type game where we're all there sitting there nervous watching, whether you're going to be at Hard Rock or watching on your couch or recliner, standing around pacing like I do sometimes during a Dolphin game that I watch on TV. So that's all I know. I hope you're right, though, that we just pound them into submission and we're not even worried going into the fourth quarter that we're already has our eye on the Ravens. That would be great. Yeah. Fangio true to his word, blitz when he wants to. Yes, blitz when he wants to. We are 32nd in blitzing. Do you think Fangio changes? I think he might, Scotty, throw a couple more blitzes because this is the playoff crunch time. So maybe do a couple more that you haven't shown on film as much this season. Brandon Jones, as we all know, is very good at getting in there too. Maybe send him a couple times and, try to just, you got to surprise them because if Prescott sees it coming, he's going to be able to adapt and everything. So try to disguise some blitzes maybe and pick when you want to do it. I don't think Fangio ever going to depend on it, but he's going to maybe change it up a little bit going down the playoff stretch. Just like McDaniel's probably going to tinker with his offensive game plan going down the stretch because you want to show teams new stuff that they haven't seen us do before. That's playoff football, caliber football. I'm not talking trick plays and this and that, but just different formations, throwing out a different set that you normally run out of. Run out of a set you normally throw out, different little things like that. I think you're going to see moving forward to things up so teams just can't read you like a book. Because at this time, there's plenty of film on all the teams in the NFL. They basically know all your tendencies. So maybe just a little tinker here and there, could be a difference. Hey, Frederick Dunlop, haven't seen you for a while. Big fins up to you. Thank you. Make sure you guys, by the way, those thumbs up buttons. And Dolphins Thursday, you'll be having a show tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's just going to be the female version of Dolphin Thursday. I will not be on it. As you guys all know, Miss Finns is going to be a special guest. You all know her, so she's going to be a special guest along with Courtney, who's Dolphin fan diaries. Marisa Marino, she's not going to be able to make the show tonight. We're going to plan another show with her in the future. She's come down not feeling well, but we're going to try to get someone named Pamela on the show as well. So hopefully it all goes well tonight and we can get her on the show. Yes, Ramsey to shadow. They had Ramsey shadowing the Jets this week, but that's maybe because Xavier Howard wasn't in there. I don't know. And Ramsey did a pretty good job on Wilson, the receiver Wilson, not the quarterback Wilson. And so that was a good thing to see, but I don't know if that was out of necessity or an actual game change plan. That's something that we might do moving forward because I would like him shadowing Lamb, especially if Xavier's not 100%. Just play it off like that. If there's egos involved that they don't shadow because they don't want to get, the cornerback's egos hurt or whatever. It's no time for egos. You got to do what's egos, not egos. Ego, no time for that. Go out there, do what you do, put your best on their best. I'm with you, Scotty. I would do that. And that's what they did against Wilson. But again, that was without Xavier and Howard in the lineup. So it'd be very interesting to see if Xavier and Howard is out there running around, and we will know more whether he really shadows or he just shadowed last week out of necessity, knowing that the Jets didn't really have that many great weapons. So put Ramsey on that guy, Wilson, and then boom, you basically shut down their running game, and they were inept on offense. Cowboys are coming in with a little more star power, so it's not going to be quite as easy on that front, but it should still be, like I say, it should still be somewhat of in the game plan if I was that Scotty. But of course, you and I, we're not making those decisions. Did McDaniel call out Ramsey or X on the film review for Tennessee? Oh my God. I forget who he called out, Scotty. I remember a lot of that. If you're answering, you can, I guess it maybe it's X you're saying, or if it's really a question that you don't know, I would have to go back and look at the episode because I know he called out Tua on the one, and then he did call out. I'm trying to picture I know what play you're talking about. It was on the far sideline from how we were watching. It was on the far sideline on their side of the field. But yeah, I don't know. You're right on that front. So McD has been great with injuries thus far, but playoff start Xmas Eve, in my opinion. Everyone banged up this time. This is true. Everyone's banged up, but from what they're saying, Hunt is really not that mobile right now. And that hamstring is really putting a damper on his mobility and getting around. I mean, tough for him walking around. So, but other people with loaded dings and stuff, I do believe will probably go New Finland. But like I said, the Dolphins so far have been very, very conservative. But I do tend to agree that some guys maybe that would have been sat earlier in the season by McDaniel won't if there's anyone on that borderline of injury. Like if you're a real injury, you're not going to be able to go out there, obviously. But if you're like one of those that just the dinged up guy, I think those guys will get up there. But Hunt kind of falls in the more seriousness of the injury due to the hamstring. Believe me, like I said on the show the other day, I blew a hamstring back in my younger days in my job, and I don't have to go out there playing against NFL football players trying to knock my head off. So, it's a big difference. I just had to do, perform my job still. Made that difficult just performing my job, but let alone I couldn't chase someone down when I had that injury, believe me. So it's tough out there. Boom. Hey, Irving Figueroa, big fins up to you guys. Thank you, man, for coming in. I think Hanley for trying to make a play on the field and getting beat over the top. So there you go. I do remember though that them looking at the film. So oh man, Master Sergeant snuck into the house. The injuries is exactly what I needs to foresee. Thank you, Master Sergeant. Yes, it would be so nice if the Dolphins can win out. It would be the perfect scenario as a Dolphins fan. We took on that one on the chin against Tennessee. Hopefully, they just now come out motivated the rest of the way, knowing that they had their firm grasp on the division. Now that it's not so firm, so go out there, kick butt, don't look back, and things should work out. No, it's impossible, man. You can't. It's almost impossible to avoid injuries. Doesn't matter, man. They happen in training camp. They happen during practice, during the season. They happen during preseason games. first play of the first regular season game in the playoffs, in Super Bowls. Just act back. It's so hard to avoid injuries no matter what you do. It's just unfortunately a part of all sports, but especially pro football, where they're out there, no matter what rules they make to try to make the game not as brutal, it's still a brutal game at the end of the day. Your job, if you're on defense, is to stop the guy with the ball by any means necessary. And that's normally brutal football tactics. It's just how it is. And, they've done rules to protect the quarterback and unprotected receivers, defenseless receivers. They've done all they can do, but down in the trenches, down when it gets nitty gritty, it's still a very tough game to play. Let's see. Scotty. Pathetic though. Let's see. It's tough trying to avoid injuries. Just ask Pickens. I can't believe what he did. That's not how he excused his play. What play am I missing? Sorry, my memory's not in this morning. What was the Pickens? Give me kind of the Reader Digest version. I am off on that one. Let's see. I can't believe what he did and how he excused his play. So someone help me out on that one. I admit I don't know what play you're talking about. But anyway, Dallas comes in here all time regular season record with the Miami Dolphins 7-7. We don't play enough to really make that significant, that 7-7 record. But if you throw in the Super Bowl back before the Miami Dolphins had the perfect season, the all-time record is Dallas Cowboys 8, Miami Dolphins 7. So Miami has to at least even up that 8-8. And hopefully one year we get to knock them in the nose in the Super Bowl and we can take care of that one. Oh, okay. Thank you. Hey, Chris Smith. I will put your messages up there in a minute, Scotty. I see your answer. Lack of effort. He didn't block. Oh, okay. Chris, all you guys are chiming in. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Pickens been in the news all week. He refused to block on a play. All right. Hey, now I know. See, I did not see that on the news. I tend to focus mainly on the Dolphins, and it's like everything else is tuned out when I hear the news. I can't help it. And same in baseball. My baseball team's the Red Sox. I know a South Florida boy that likes the Red Sox, but I was as you can see, I'm older than the Florida Marlins. So I picked the Red Sox as a kid. So just like that, I just like tune out. But then I hear, oh, in Boston today, then it's all of a sudden full on radar. It's just the same thing with Dolphins, man. Like I could have football shows on in the background and I'm not paying attention. And then they say, hey, Mike McDaniel today. I'm like, shoop, beep, 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 radar on. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just weird. I tune out almost everything else. Just can't help it. I said, hey, I grew up with attention deficit disorder. So if it's not something I really care about, I tune out. Just ask my wife. I tune her out all the time, she says. So it is what it is. I mean, my son say sometimes, but at least my sons and I, all we ever talk about are Dolphins and Red Sox. Hey, Abba, fins up. Thank you for coming in here. Always. Abba, make sure you join us tonight. The number one Miss Fins will be on the Dolphins Thirsty show tonight with Courtney of Dolphin Diaries. Good stuff to take a hold of. It's going to be a fun episode tonight. All is well, Abba. All is well. Yes, Steelers, I'm a bad way. Pickens didn't block and he didn't get injured. Hey, I hear you, man. I hear you. Okay, now I know. See, that's why I have my Superstars team in the room every morning to fill me in. Now I have the 411, the old 411 reference. A lot of the younger guys are saying, what the heck's a 411? But back in the day, you could call, instead of 911, you could call 411 for information. So it's all good stuff. Now I guess I would have to say I got my Google in here because everyone just Googles nowadays. So there you go. I got my Google in here. You guys are my Google team. You know everything that's going on. I love it. So anyway, back to the Dolphins and Cowboys matchup. Last time that we played them was 2019. That was our tank season, and they smoked us out of the house over in Dallas. But that's a completely different team. And it was just now, that was no Tua, no Waddle, no Tyreek Hill, no Ramsey, basically no one. I mean, we have a couple guys, that we had on the team that year. But I guess Wilkins was a rookie back. So it's been they're not facing the team that they're facing now. So you can't even look at that. It's not like we played them every single year. This year it's in our house. We have star power. They have star power. Both of these owners, if they were baseball owners, would blow past the luxury tax because they wouldn't care about a luxury tax. They'd be those type owners like the Padres and the Mets and the Yankees and the Dodgers, just blowing past those numbers. That's how Ross would spin if that's how the football rules. Like there was no cap, but there is a luxury tax. If you go over it, Ross wouldn't care. Ross would just be out there. Him and Jerry Jones would be battling every week for every year off season for the best players to come in. So that's why both of these teams have star power. They're not afraid to spend money on their player development, their facilities. They're all out to win. And let's just hope our Dolphins come out on the winning side this week. The Dolphins must win this game or the narrative is going to blow up. Maybe no, you're right, G-Man. This is, to me, all three remaining games, especially the next two, are must wins. Because if you can just win the next two, you don't have to worry about Buffalo beating you for the division crown. You still want to beat Buffalo, of course, though. I don't care if Miami has the division wrapped up. You play Buffalo like it's a playoff game, and then, you worry about the rest later. You don't want them getting into Miss Finns and her guest she had on today kind of talked on that topic, so I won't go on it too much. But if the Dolphins can just win the next two games, boom, that's it. Then you don't have to go in all panic into the Buffalo game. You can decide how you approach it, if it affects season, if it can means Buffalo's out of the playoffs. Because let's face it, Buffalo's playing decent right now, and you don't want to have them be on a roll going into the playoffs. They woke up. I don't know what problems they were having, turmoil they were having, but for whatever reason, they've woke up lately and they've been playing good football, unfortunately. I wish they weren't. Hey, good morning, Ender. Big fins up to you. One of the first persons to ever subscribe, what I call really become a team member here at Dolphins Thirsty. So big fins up to you, Ender. You rock. And happy holidays to you as well, Ender. Let's see. No one but you who gives a shit about the main media narrative. No, I agree, man. You know what? Narratives are meant to be erased. But the only way you erase those narratives, McDaniel said it himself, you got to erase it on your own by beating those teams that people say you can't beat. Because if you beat a team with a winning record, then they can't say, man, we can't beat a team with a winning record. But until you do that, it's always going to be the narrative. And I get it. I understand it. So to me, I don't care. I also don't care about power rankings. This isn't college football. There's no playoff committee. I don't care that some knucklehead put Dolphins at 32. What does it matter at the end of the day? It does not matter at all. There's no little committee deciding, well, I think Florida State should not be in. Well, I think they should. No, there's none of that. You just go out there, you play, you win, you earn a playoff spot. There's none of this, well, this team didn't play anyone. No, so I don't even care about these power rankings. They're fun. They make for good topics on social media. They get the guys blown up by, purposely putting some teams. Who cares? I don't care if they put Buffalo ahead of us. I don't care. Doesn't matter. It's all going to be decided by our teams that we love to watch. Whatever fan base you are, going to be decided by those players on the field on any given Sunday or Saturday, Thursday, whatever day they happen to play on. That's where it's all decided. So power rankings, who cares? I don't care. Fun to talk about, but they mean nothing. The only power rankings that matter Because at the end of the season, whoever's number one winning the Super Bowl, only power ranking that matters. Let's face it. It's fun, not dishing people that do it on social media. It's fun, fine, but it means nothing. I don't get butt hurt feelings because some guy put the Dolphins way down on the list. Who cares? Who cares? We know Cal Brandt's not going to put the Dolphins high. He put the Bills over them. So I saw that people being mad at him. It just is what it is. We just got to go out and win. Hey, good morning, Dolphin. Yes, Scotty, he said it the best. F off with all due respect. And I agree for sure. Told the media to pacify. He tells the players, the media, and the fans are some morons. Oh, hey, for sure, man. Hey, good morning, Dolphin Don. Big fins up to you. No, that's what I'm saying, Dolphin Don. The only rankings that matter are Super Bowl. That's it. That's how I look at it too, man. It's fun to talk about. But like I said, this is not college football where you have to have some committee to vote you in. Next year, college football will be a little more realistic with 12 teams battling. But then, the 13th team is going to say, well, we're better than the 12th team. That's always going to happen. So, but at least it'd be a little more, but it's still going to be some committee. No committee here. Doesn't matter what people say. And it doesn't, I'd rather be talked bad about. I like it when they bash my team more than, I know it sounds crazy, then they blow smoke up our butt. I don't like when we get all the praise and all that. I'd rather just have that, our guys have that chip on their shoulder, go out there, do their job, and take care of business that way. I much rather have it that way. Right? As a coward wannabe. Yeah, he is. And hey, at Demon, the Titans loss might have been a blessing in disguise, bro. Oh, and yeah, of course, it's never good to lose. That's for sure. But I think what he means is, that maybe it got them extra motivated, whatever, woke them up, humbled them a little bit, and we will see. But it would have been better to be humbled in that game and squeak out that win like we almost did after really them playing better than us all game. And then we got those 2-touchdown lead. Anyway, that's way long ago. I want momentum going into the playoffs. No more limping in. 100% correct, G-Man. You don't want to back into the playoffs like we did last year. Yes, we beat the Jets, but we didn't even score a touchdown against the Jets in that last game last year. Then you still needed New England to lose, and they did. So we backed into the playoffs. If we win this week, we're in the playoffs no matter what. So I wouldn't really be backing in, but you don't want to start backing in if you lose the next two. If we win this week, you still don't want to go up and get blown out by Baltimore or beat barely by Baltimore, whatever, lose to Baltimore, and then lose to Buffalo. If we lose out from here on out, then you know what? Then we did it to ourselves. May still sneak into the playoffs, but then basically this is it, man. We're gonna be, I don't know how many of you celebrate Christmas, but Christmas is going to be like a lot of Dolphin fans and fans of all teams around the NFL, of course. But I only care about our Miami Dolphins. And a lot of our moods are going to be determined on how the Dolphins do Christmas Eve. Let's face it. I'm not going to be a horrible guy. I'm still going to be good to my family, still have fun, but I'm definitely not going to be the cheerful little Rob. If we beat Dallas, I'd be like, this is the best Christmas ever. Let's rock. If we lose, I'd just be like, yeah, Merry Christmas. Have a great day. Leave me alone. I'm teasing, of course, but it will have a little effect on moods around Dolphin Nation come Christmas morning if the Dolphins lose. But it would really have a great one if we win. It just makes it a little more cheerful for sure on that front. So I prefer a real analyst, not sports opinion, which Turd Bayless, Smith, right, all. Basically, yes, that's almost all of me. Oh, Pamela, I hope you can make it into the show tonight. Pam, if not, no worries. I know you're on a cruise ship, so special kudos to you for even giving a time of day to say hello to me here today. You rock. Miss Fins and Courtney of Dolphin Diaries will be here. Marissa Marino will not be Pam because she got sick, so she's not doing anything tonight, but we will form the super lady team anyway. So if you, that would be the third, that'd be super. We have Miss Finn's confirmed and Courtney of Dolphin Diaries, and hopefully the great Pam. But I can't hold her accountable because she's on a cruise ship having a great time, trying not to think of the Miami Dolphins. But knowing Pam, she is thinking about the Miami Dolphins. So we will see. Hey, Anthony. Oh, I can imagine, man. Rob, I really don't want to be dealing with arrogant Cowboy fans that live around me, that live me in Sarasota, bragging that they blew us out on Chris. Believe me, believe me, my very next door neighbor on this side, not behind me, but on this side, is a Cowboy fan, and I don't even want to see. I haven't seen him this week, but I saw him before. I'm saying, hey, Chet, you're not going to believe this, but I'm rooting for the Cowboys. And then I go, but which is probably bad luck for you because every time I root for a team I don't like, they always, then of course, root against a team just because I don't like a team, but I'm rooting for another team I don't like just to beat the team that I like, that I'm in like less, and never works out for me that way. So I was rooting for the Cowboys, and of course, they went and got stomped. So I saw him that day. So, before I went off to my Dolphins game, he saw me outside. He goes, how about them Cowboys? I go, well, I only care about the Dolphins. That's where I'm going. But he goes, I told him, I will be rooting for your Cowboys later today, but I haven't seen him since then. And his team got curb stomped. But now, of course, he would make sure he sees me if his team beats my team. Because we almost always see each other. I don't even know how I haven't seen him this week. Yes, I will. I think I sent you the link on Twitter, but I will send it again. I think I sent it to your DM on Twitter, Pam. Let me make sure. But I think I did. If not, I will send it after this show. Let's see. Yeah, you should have it in your Twitter's DM, Pam. So that is awesome. Do one day guarantee an athlete will absolutely bear crap out of Steven Fit for what he says is going to happen. Oh, yeah, one of these days for sure. Yeah, curb stomped. Yeah, hey, that's what we need to do. We need to curb stomp Dallas. We just have to play with that mentality, man. It is tough. The final 3 weeks of the season. I'm not gonna lie. I'm nervous, but I'm also hopeful. Hopeful doesn't get you, with a couple bucks and hope you don't even get a coffee these days. So I understand hope doesn't mean anything, but I am a little more hopeful than the past couple of years. But I probably say that every stinking year for the Miami Dolphins, and then they squash that hope out, and we haven't had a playoff win for 2 decades. But this year, I just feel like this team has that chip on their shoulder. For whatever reason, they lost that Monday nighter recently, or we would really be close to wrapping up this freaking division with a win this week. It would have been done. But hey, you put yourselves in this mess, get yourselves out of this mess, keep on winning, doing what you've been doing, do it what you do best, and let the chips fall where they may. I know the guest on Miss Finn's show today doesn't think the Dolphins match up well against the Ravens, but we have beaten the Ravens the past couple of times that we've played them now. So maybe we're starting to erase that narrative. Yes, granted, last year it took a miracle fourth quarter to beat them, but hey, beating them is beating them, and maybe we've put that Ravens curse behind us, and we got a good chance moving forward. All my preseason have been spot on so far. I'm confident we end 12-5 with the number 1 seed. Okay, I love that confidence, guy. So that would have us dropping one of the next 3. So that is pretty good. So, well, we can't lose to the Ravens though if we want that number 1 seed. That's for sure. Because I mean, if they lose to the 49ers, which they probably will, if they beat us, they still are going to have that over us. So somehow we got to go out there and we got to beat. So, Scotty, I guess the only way that could happen, Scotty, is if we lose to the Cowboys, I guess, and we go beat the Ravens and we go beat Buffalo. That would be the way to get to that seeding, like you said. Well, you guys both had more than me. I had 11-6. So if we beat the Cowboys, I'm at least guaranteed of our Miami Dolphins getting to at least the 11-6 record. But then I'd be really disappointed that I would rather be wrong on the short side, obviously, then, because if we get to 11, I want 12. Let's face it. And if we get to 12, I want to want 13. Then I'm going to want a playoff win. Then we get one playoff win. I'm going to want another playoff win and another, whatever it takes to get to the Super Bowl, whether it's 2 or 3 playoff wins. That's what I'm going to want. Let's face it. That's how I roll with my team I root for. It's just fun. Guys, I'm a horrible promoter. If you remember, nail the thumbs up. And it does look like Pam is going to be in our show tonight. So we're going to have 3 super lady hosts in the show tonight. Should be a lot of fun. And I look forward to that. Good show. And Pam, if you can, Fan 72, if you can like DM her or something so you guys can talk about what she's going to cover in the show tonight. So you have a little info heading into the show would be great. Same for you, Miss Finns, if you happen to be looking. If my math is right, it doesn't matter if they beat the 49ers or not. If we win Baltimore and the other 2 games, we've got home. Yes, that's it. If we win, if we just win, we're home field if we win all 3. But of course, that's the biggest if. And they say if is the biggest small world in all the English language. But it is true. If we win all 3, the Dolphins will be the number 1 seed in the AFC. And that would be super duper, not to steal from Mark Duper's name back in the day, but that would be fantastic, finstastic, spectacular, whatever word you want to use. But let's worry about beating the Cowboys this week. They're coming in hungry. We better be hungry. I don't care. We're coming off a win. We got to be hungry. We have a narrative to erase, and that's what we need to focus on. They're not going to care. They're not going to say that's the reason they're going out there just to erase the narrative, but they're going to go out there because they know what's at stake. They know. McDaniel is the first one that would tell you how long it's been since the Miami Dolphins won a playoff game. I like a coach like that. A coach that's not, he knows the history of the team. He knows how, and he's like, he relates to fans better than I think other coaches over the years have related to fans. Because just remember, this guy was a ball boy back in the day because he was such a diehard Denver Bronco fan. So he knows how fans roll, how we think, and how we affects moods and all of that. So he knows, and I like that from the coach, how him knowing. Now, does it affect his game planning at the end of the day? Does he care what we're blowing up on social media? Of course not. But at least he knows that this organization is long overdue some playoff success. And let's go out there and get it. We got the talent on this roster. This is the team that they have built for this moment. Yes, a lot of it will still be on the team next year. Some of it won't be. But this team this year, as it's constituted right now, is what was built that we've been told since the tank seasons when Adam Gase was let go and Flores was brought in and we started rebuilding and traded Tunso, getting all these picks. This is what we built for. Making the trade since then, once we started building, going and getting Tyreek Hill, going to get Ramsey, going to get Chubb, drafting Waddle, drafting Jalen Phillips, drafting Austin Jackson, and Igbo. Don't say that name. But do all of those things. This is what this team was made for. It was made for this moment. This is their time. Ross has spent every dime ever asked of him. I know some people don't like Ross, but I would take Ross over almost any owner in the NFL. Sometimes he says crazy things. He looks silly doing the waddle dance, whatever. People pick on him for. Who cares? He spends money. And that's what you need from an owner. That's his thing. So I much rather have him as our owner. Yes, go. Hey, I don't know if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, go tell it on the mountain. But even if you are, if you could hit a thumbs up, everyone's welcome in this room. So that's fine. We even get a guy named Michael K in here from time to time who's not in here this season. Preseason, I said the last game would dictate the season. I also thought we would go 2-1 because we would rest player versus Buffalo because we would have our seed locked down prior. Very interesting, young man. Very interesting. So we will see. But do you really? What they brought up on the Miss Finn show this morning, Scotty, if say Dolphins, some scenario they do have everything wrapped up. Do you see them like letting Buffalo? But if Buffalo wins, that they sneak into the playoffs. Do you see the Dolphins still going trying out to beat them to not let Buffalo get into the playoffs? Because I honestly, and I'm not saying Buffalo is really that much of a better team, but they do match up well against us historically for whatever reason over the past few years. Our talent matches their talent, but for whatever reason, they match. It just happens. It happens. Sometimes there's just teams that match up well against. The Ravens used to match up well against us all the time, and the Ravens would beat us. Now we've kind of erased that narrative. So we will see on that front. And he's saying, Newfoundland, good morning to you. From Pam, if our seed is, let's see what Scotty has to say. If our seed is locked down and can't change, they absolutely can be rest Armstead and Hunt and Holland. Even at the expense of letting Buffalo sneak in, I guess Scotty's like, he's old school. He's like, if you're worried about who's going to make the playoffs, you don't belong in the playoffs. You just got to beat whoever's there. So if that's kind of your take, Scotty, I'm with you. But I would love to see Buffalo not make it. I'll be honest. Especially if you remember the season, they let the Bills win twice and then destroy them in the playoffs. Hey, that would be fine on that front. Oh, Pam, I love Pam's confidence, but I don't know if her confidence always leads to victories. So we will see. But I love her confidence in here. So that's good. And but this week we got to worry. Like I said, we have to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, it's not a conference game, but you don't want to lose against the one winning team that comes into your home stadium all year. You don't. You want to kick that narrative to the curb, another use for the word curb, and take care of business against the freaking Dallas Cowboys. I always say the Dallas Cowboys, outside of the AFC East rivals, are my least favorite team in all of football. So just how I roll. I just never liked their whole Americans team logo, slogan, whatever you call it, and all their fancy Nancy stuff. So that's just a personal thing, though. Oh, Michael K. I think we had another Buffalo Bill fan, unless that was you incognito, Michael K. I like Scotty's confidence too, man. You guys are confident. I love it seeing from Dolphins fans all this confidence going on that we have in our room this morning. Hey, good morning, Michael K. And Michael K gives a good morning to Pam as well. Michael K, you can see Pam tonight, most likely on the Dolphins Thirsty channel, as long as her Wi-Fi is good on the cruise ship. Can't believe she's gonna still roll on the show. I mean, she's on a cruise ship. Big kudos to Pam out there. Pamela Dolphin 313 on Twitter. They will be fired up. Yeah, this is it. See, this is who I thought Michael K was hiding as today. So, but it must not. So, Buffalo Bill fans are invading our channel unless Michael K is really good at changing names in an instant. But guys, it's almost another end of another show of Dolphins Chatter. And once again, I didn't remind you a lot during the show. If you have it in you, know those thumbs up button, which I like to say, fins up buttons, but here on YouTube and Facebook, they just got that big old thumb. So nail it for me. And if you're new to the channel, tackle that subscribe button if I've earned it this morning. And you know what? With no further ado, I'm basically going to wrap this show up. But tonight, special edition of Dolphins Thirsty Channel will be rolling with an all-female cast. Most likely Pam, who's in the room here this morning. Most likely, but she is on a cruise ship, so we got to give her a little leadway to not be able to come through. But we do have the great Miss Finns joining Courtney's show tonight. Fan Diaries is the name of her show. So should be a fun show tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. If you have the time, please stop on by and give a big thumbs up to the super all-lady crew that's going to be going out there tonight. Thank you so much for the show. Hit that like button. Thank you, Pam. Later, G-Man. Yeah, I don't know. Go tell it on the mountain. I don't know if you're really Michael K in incognito or just happen to be another Buffalo Bills fan. Who knows? But all I care about, that thumbs up button, because we treat you well like we treat everyone. So, Dolphin fans, thank you. Looking for my closeout video. Sorry for the delay. There it goes. Fins up. You guys rock. You're great, and so are the Dolphins.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you want to know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have